Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Chris with BilletBox.info, and we got something to show you today. It's not an RBA, but it is something that an RBA will go into, and it is the Atmizoo Snail Tank. We've got a few of them here to take a look at, right there. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you about them. A little bit of information about the evolution of boros. Let me also say, not the evolution of boros, but the boro is named after borosilicate glass, which is the glass on a standard billet box vapor. Boro, which, billet box vapor is the one that created what we call the boro. And there's been others to come through it, but Atmizoo, the maker of the Snail, VapeSnail, VapeShell, tripod, some other standard vape, products. They've been working on this for a while. I first learned, I first posted about these in March of 2021. At that time, I believe there was only really Friendly Flipper had made a Boro tank. Obviously, the Billet Box ones, Mums had made a tank. I think that YEC might have just come out with something, and anyway, they've been in the works for quite a bit. Since then, there's been an influx of boros or tanks, that are like, I don't want to say knockoffs, but emulating the boro in their own style for whatever style they go for. A lot of them are very similar. So, but anyway, let's jump down and just take a look. First of all, before we do that, these come in 5 colors: clear, smoked, blue, fusion blue is what it's called, pink, which is called fuchsia, I think, and Ultim. These are the same colors that came with the original VapeSnail had, and this is called the SnailTank. The VapeSnail came with a clear PGTC plastic tank, and then the RBA itself. I mean, it's an all-in-one. Then they came out with colors, which are the same 5 colors that we have with the vape or the Snail tanks. So let's go down and let me show you a few things, and then we'll open these up. So we'll move those out of the way. We're going to go down. So first and foremost, this is a boro. This is a standard Rev 4 boro from Billet Box Vapor. Got O-ring top, O-ring at the bottom, gasket around here, and this is how they come brand new. I don't know what the purpose of that paper is, but this is when you get a brand new one. But the glass slides down, and with actually this will slide down, but it is very tight because this is a brand new one, so I'm not even gonna bother. But yeah, that's a standard boro. Then you've got third-party boros that have come out since. This is an A-tank boro, but this is from Mums, and it's just a third-party boro. Then, like I said, they came out. YEC came out with a boro, and then you have companies like Armor. These came out pretty recently. Armor came out with their own boro. And then the Limelight tank, which is an all-in-one boro, very similar to what we're going to look at with the Snail tank, where you take it apart at the bottom, pop your RBA in, and then fill it up through with the fill port there. Which the VapeSnail is an all-in-one, which is similar to one that came after it called the Orbit, and even more recently the Voltrove. So the Snail tank is going to be very similar to this, except for instead of being locked into the VapeSnail's RBA, you can put whatever you want, and most stuff should work with it. So we've got a few RBAs here that I'm going to try out just for fitment purposes. We'll get those right here. Actually move them away till we get done. But anyway, all these are basically replacements for the stock Billet Box Vapor Rev 4 Boro. So what do we got here? Which one is this? Let's open the clear one first. got a real nice tin here, aluminum, I guess. Atmizoo logo. That's not a sticker. That's actually on the container. Really nice. On the bottom, you got a little thing here to scan. SnailTank clear. SNTC, which I'm not sure what that stands for. And by the way, these are going to go for about 18.5 to 19 euros, which is very affordable compared to some of the other third-party aftermarket Boro replacements. So what do we have in here? When you open the container, you're going to have a plastic bag with the actual Boro tank itself and a little kit of parts here. It looks like we've got a base seal, which the base seal on this one is clear. This is black, so I guess you could also accessorize all these parts on this clear one are kind of a clearish color, but the replacements are black. So we got the bottom seal, the top seal, new fill plug, and a base gasket where the bottom meets the actual tank section. So put that back in there. After we actually we're going to run right into that, but we're going to take and put a few different RBAs in this thing, and I'm going to set a couple of them up and do some accessorizing with a few of my billet boxes. So what we have here, you got a gasket on the top, which this is supposed to help out with the problem where sometimes you'll unscrew your integrated drip tip and end up getting separating the RBA that's inside. So, but you got a fill port here, you got this here, and like I said, that is made of PGTC, which is supposed to be resistant to what they call tank crackers. So there you go. The base just comes off here, and there's a seal here, and then your bottom seal here. And that's it. You just put your whatever you're going to use. Here, let's put this one. I think I'm going to use this one in the clear and put it into my white billet box there. So we just set this up, make sure it's square, oops, and drop it. That's part of the procedure. You have to drop it. Then you take your tank section and slide it down. Line that's wanting to come out. Line your chimney up with that hole there, and then press it in and get it seated. Make sure that seals. Might have to put a little bit of e-liquid on there to make sure that, you know, eliminate some of the initial friction on a dry tank. You know what I mean? So, oops. Yeah, let me do that real quick here before we make a mistake. What am I going to put in here? Let's go with this. Just put a little bit of e-liquid on here. One of the advantages, first of all, I will admit, and I've said this before on my videos, that I'm not a big fan of the all-in-one. I mean, I love the Voltrove, I love the Orbit, I love the VapeSnail even, but I just prefer an RBA that I can move from one. Oh, I'm smashing that O-ring there. That I can move from one Boro to another, so I can accessorize colors wise, you know. All right, I don't know what's going on here. I might not be getting lined up properly, but there we go. All right, there we go. That made a good seal. I can feel it. Now we make sure that goes down through that bottom just fine. And I'm gonna take my tweezers and just kind of carefully push down just to make sure we're as far down as we can get. And there we have it. Get a little clean up on that Boro, and we will demonstrate this. Make sure this works just fine. I'm going to wait to put any juice in it until I get it in the Boro, or into the device, that is. All right, just slide that down, get my grip tip out so it'll go in. There we go. This is a Cerakote billet, and sometimes the tolerance on some of these newer all-in-ones and Boros are a little tight. This has enough wiggle room there, so we should be good. I mean, we're definitely good. You saw it go in. So let me get this drip tip back on here. This cotton has a little juice on it from when I dumped the Boros, so I should be able to fire it up without burning it up. Oh, we're getting a check atomizer. Oh, I didn't have the drip tip all the way down. There we go, 0.444. There we have it. So let's go ahead and pull this fill port open. Grab some juice. And voila. I don't have any devices that have where you, and best thing to do is kind of angle it at an angle here and get you a little triangle all the way up to there, and boom, we're almost full capacity. I don't know, I didn't see any published numbers what the full capacity of these tanks are. It's the same size roughly as a billet box itself. In fact, you know, the holes here, you can use condensation plugs if you want. Everything should be good to go. It also depends on the size, the displacement of whatever RBA you put in there. So if I had to guess, probably about 4 mil, maybe a little more. So it's firing off just good. Let's go up for just a second. This video is going to be a little longer, but that's okay. So there we have it. That is a clear snail tank in my billet box. As far as fitment with RBAs, they said that there's a few of the bigger RBAs, like I think they mentioned the Exocet V2, the Haku Zeta, what was another one? The Crossbow. They'll fit in there, but the front of the you know, these rounded, like the Exocet and the Zeta, will actually touch the glass, and it may scratch it over time, but shouldn't impede the operation of that RBA. So we've got the bridged Omega in the clear one in a billet box. We'll put that aside. We're good to go there. Got a little bubble coming up. Go back down and show you some more stuff. Get this out of the way. Alright, so that was the clear. Let's go straight to the blue. And same thing. Black spares in here. And your tank there. So let's go ahead and let's pick something out. Let's put, just, this is a Mission XV EUC bridge. Let's try it out in here. I'm not going to actually do anything with it. I'm just going to, oh, see, and that pops out there if you want. Not if you want, but I mean, if you want to take it out to clean it or whatever. Get that started up through there. There we are. And then line this up down here. Make sure it's, oh, see, I probably should put some juice on there because I'm boogering up that seal at the bottom there. Okay, I got it now, I think. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that fits in there kind of loose. So if you just kind of squeeze and push it down and then keep them squeeze and pull it back out, you can get it, make sure everything's seated good. Just for giggles, it's in there. And we're going to pop it into this blue billet box, which I don't think this this bridge will be the one. Oh, that is a perfect color fit. Oops. Oh, just lost my drip tip to the floor. if I can get it. That color is, I'm going to find something to put in there. I like that color in here. Put my drip tip back on and see if we have a good connection. Yep, there we go. Popping. So there's our blue one, and we know that this bridge and any other kind of round bridges, there's nowhere near the edge of the tank on that, so that fits perfectly. Put this aside, and what's our next color? The next color is Ultim Yellow. I think I'm gonna put something in this one right now. Same thing, black O-rings. Move that aside. It's a pretty color. We're gonna put the dope in there. And I'm going to put that one in this box only because we've got an Ultim button on there. We don't even have an Ultim tip. Yeah, it's not going to be, it's kind of Frankenstein color, but so we should be able to pop this up in here. Now the dope, if you put it into standard bore, it threads out of there. So with this kind of tank, you don't have to do that. So there we have it. Line that up. And good seal. That was easier that time. Feels like it's good and seated. Push down on it, make sure it's all the way down. There we have it. Let's put that in here. Let's move this out of the way. I'm just rambling to the camera, but y'all will hear me tomorrow. Alright, let's take that out of here. Select that in. Oh, this drip tip out. Oh, did I not do anything right? Or, okay, there we go. There we are. What we got? What we got? All right, let's put some juice in that one. What did I put in here? I think I used this. Just in case, I'm just going to fill it up just a little bit. But like I said, if you tilt it that way a little bit, you have to do the same thing with the VapeSnail and pretty much any other AIO all-in-one device, you know, or RBA device. All right, cool. This bottle is thicker. That's probably about half. Yep, we got about half in there. All right, just in case I got the wrong juice in there. Low battery, but hey, we'll be okay. Actually, I'm gonna take that panel back off. And there we go. That's the Ultim in a ODB green billet box, which is, this one's called Private Pile. Time will tell if these seals hold up. I have to use them for a couple weeks before I can let y'all know that. This is just a very rudimentary first look. But there we have it. That was the Ultim one. So far we've done a clear, an Ultim, and a blue. I'm going to leave that there and continue to use that. What do we have next? Next is fuchsia, which this is the pink color. Okay, hold on, that SIF, they didn't know what that SNTF, is that on everything? Oh, S&T, SnailTank, SB is smoke black, F is fuchsia. Okay, we've deciphered the code. And there's your pink, black O-rings is the others. And I'm waiting on a billet box that should be here tomorrow. The magenta, or oh gosh, Maleficent or something. It's the new kind of magenta billet box, and I'm going to save that one for that. Put that back in there for tomorrow. And this last one should be smoke black. Or we already know it's smoke black because we looked. And here is the smoke black, which is not really black. It's kind of a clearish smoke. And with this one, oh, this one comes with so there's black seals and O-rings on this one to start with, and it comes with a clear set for spares. So with the smoke black, we're going to go ahead and pull this base off, and I'm going to try a couple of the other RBAs I had laying around. There we go, that popped out again. Push that back through, try to hold that in place while there we go. And this is the T-Bridge by Toro Mods. Oops, gotta go the right way with that. And that is going in there with no trouble at all as far as the size of the actual bridge. Got plenty of room all around for it to operate. That's that one. We've already done a bridged, but just for giggles, we'll do the 1.2 here. That's the only thing I got left laying around over here. You know what? I got one more we can try. It's very similar in size to, maybe a little smaller than the Zeta. Let's see if the original Mob, I don't have a Mob Mini anymore. Let's see if the original Mob works. So here's a standard bridge. This is a bridge 1.2. And line that up. These seals on the base get a little easier after the first time. Oops, pushed it down. You got to be careful about that. There we go. Push down on this part and get it to line up at the bottom just fine. So there it is with the bridged. You've got room between the tank and the glass, or the base of the RBA and the glass, or it's not glass, plastic, PGTC. So there we go. That opened up right there. Let's get that out of here. And let's try one more. Let's try this big old thing. The original Mob. Oh yeah, that's going to be tight. I can already tell. You see, let's move this crown this way. Where's it catching? Is it catching on the crown? I think that crown's catching. Okay. On the just the base of this, you can hear it's got very little play between the edges and the actual. So you're gonna get this with the Mob though. You're gonna have it to this way, and the wicking channels are not going to be like this. They're going to be like that. So should not be any issue on wicking. This portion, however, is a little thicker, and it will go in there, but it's actually going to touch your plastic there. So, but let's go ahead and put it in anyway for science. Let's put it together. Put the chimney on. This one, the chimney, is the O-ring on the chimney doesn't hold in there really good. I probably need to replace that, but I don't actually use this much anymore because, well, I don't need to. Yeah, this is really tight going in, and it's possible that it will scratch the inner surface of the actual tank at some point. So here we go. Get this all sealed together. It'll definitely work in here. It's just really tight. So, ooh, stay together. Push that part down. There we go. There you have it. Man, that takes up a lot of room in there. But anyway, that is the smoked tank. So we've showed you the smoked. We showed you the blue. The pink's back in the box. By the way, that's, well, I already showed you an armor RB or armor Boro. We put the blue. Where did we put the Ultim? There's the Ultim. And where the Ultim's there. And so far, I don't see any leaking. Just sitting here for a few minutes, you know. Time will tell on that, but I'm pretty sure Atmizoo is not going to release a product that's going to leak like a sieve. So no juice collection at the bottom there with this white and the clear. You can actually see that really good. There's been no leaking, although there's some leaking down there from something else. But yeah, there's your clear one. I have a feeling that clear will probably be the biggest seller out of all the colors. Smoke black maybe after that. But they look awesome. The logo on the side, some people may not like that on a device that actually shows the sides of the Boro, like a, you know, I guess a Harpy. You know, you could see the sides, or the key from Mums. But I like that branding. It's engraved into it, and it's not obstructive, you know. So, but yeah, these are really nice looking. Oops, that didn't come out. This is so thick that I didn't actually get that to come out when I put this back together. Yeah, I'm gonna. This thing is gonna scratch the inside of this if I was to actually use that in this. So, really nice work, Atmizoo. It's a shame it took so long to come out, but hey, they're here now, and the price point is very nice at about 20 euros. So, a couple tips on it though, by the way. On the top edge, if you have a drip tip that has an O-ring like this here, it is recommended that you take the O-ring off on the kind of bridges that may adhere to the actual chimney. If the integrated tip is too tight in that chimney, the O-ring will catch the inner part of that chimney and pull it apart, and you might have a dump in your Boro if that is the case. So Atmizoo recommends that you take the O-rings off of your drip tips, which I do on a lot of mine, especially my mission tips, because it just really helps out with that, you know, not having that happen. So, what else to say about it? I mean, you fill there. You can technically, if you really wanted to, you could take off. You could leave juice in there. Here, let's just demonstrate that again. So I can put this RBA in here. If that stays in place, you're not going to have a problem. And I could actually, we're going to demonstrate this. I'm going to put a paper towel in here just to make sure. And I'm going to get some juice that I don't really care about. Some of this, one of these juices that I rarely use anymore. Let's see, this one's open. So if you had juice in your tank, ideally, which I've not tried before, because obviously y'all saw me open them as we were sitting here, I just filled that Boro up about half with this nasty juice, and it's in there. And if we really wanted to, we could take this. I don't know if I'll be able to take that apart. If it was easy to separate your deck, this particular one was probably not a good example to try. You could actually pull your deck off, re-wick it without having to empty your tank. So that's one thing. Looks like I'm going to have to just go ahead and leave this in here for now. I'll clean it up after the video, but yeah, there you go. T-bridge and the smoked. Oh, I don't have that totally sealed. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it. Video was probably longer than it should have been, but what do you expect when I do a video? I don't do any edits or anything to try to speed it up or anything. So you get what you get, guys. But yeah, great job to Atmizoo. The snail tanks look really nice. You'll be able to accessorize with your different billets, you know, like this blue one. That just looks so nice and matches it perfectly. When I get the pink billet, the magenta billet tomorrow, we'll take a look at the magenta one with that, or the fuchsia. They call it fuchsia, not pink. So yeah, 20 euros, a little less than 20 euros. They will be available. There was a pre-order available, not a pre-order, but a pre-sale for members of the Facebook group on their Facebook group earlier this week or late last week, and sometime this week, late this week, I've been told they will be available on the Atmizoo website. I will put a link to the Atmizoo website in the comment or in the description below. But I don't know when exactly they're going to show up on there. They're made of PGCTC. Oh, and they made a statement about the thing I was talking about with the certain bridges that may actually be a little tight in there. They said due to its design, the Snail tank is compatible with most bridges and condensation plugs that are designed for a Boro tank. Also fitting inside of the overwhelming majority of Boro compatible AIOs out there. We have tried to achieve cross compatibility of the tank section with the VapeSnail. This, together with its pyramid-like shape due to its unavoidable draft angle of the molding process, made the tank a bit less spacey. For that reason, very large RBAs, Haku Zeta, SVT, Crossbow, Hellfire, Exocet are expected to fit with zero tolerance inside the Snail tank. This won't affect functionality, but might leave friction mark on the inner walls of the tank after insertion and removal of these large RBAs. So that's pretty much what I said earlier, and I'm sure there's some others, like you saw that mob, the crown. There's only 50 of the each of the stainless steel and the gold mob, so chances of one of y'all having that mob to scratch the inside of your snail tank is pretty, 100 and how many are out there, right? So 19.84 euros for all versions. Each color is the same as, clear or smoked or pink or blue or Ultim. They're all the same. So, yeah, that's it. I'm rambling at this point. So far, great. If they hold up and don't leak on me, I might be able to get over, I prefer, the reason I prefer an RBA that I can take in and out of the tank is for two reasons. Number one, I can take that RBA in from a clear Boro to a pink Boro to a blue Boro, depending on the box that I want to accessorize. Number two, sometimes I don't like these little fill plugs. And, the VapeSnail one was just fine, unless it came loose on you, but it doesn't look like these are going to have that problem. They're hard to get back in the top if you don't, putting them right there is fine, but the top part where it holds in was an issue early on with the VapeSnail. It wasn't an issue, it was just hard to get them back in there. You had to get it dry, blah, blah, blah. So, there's nothing else really to say about it. They look great. They feel very nice. They don't feel cheap. They don't feel like I could push on them and break it like that, And, hey, what else is there to say? I've said too much already. So, anyway, my name's Chris, Billet Box Info. This was a first look at the Atmizoo snail tanks. Thanks for watching.